letting the city down. That's how Redskins head coach Jay Gruden put it today on the heels of another loss. What to make of this latest setback? How on earth do the Redskins turn things around? And your calls as well tonight on After the Game with Darrel Young.
Live from News Channel 8, this is After the Game with Darrel Young.
I told our team after the game, this game is not that hard to figure out. It's a team that makes plays usually wins. A team that doesn't turn the ball over usually wins. A team that creates turnovers. We're not doing anything. We're not doing, it's a broken record every time I stand up here.
That was head coach Jay Gruden after the game. The Redskins' fourth straight loss, which dropped the team to 1-5 on the season. Where do we go from here? Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm Alex Parker with DY Darrel Young. DY.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm healthy.
We'll go there then. You're healthy. How many snaps did you play yesterday?
I don't know to be precise, but it wasn't too many. But the offense didn't call for me yesterday.
That can't be a good thing for you?
It's not a good thing for the team because that means we're not in a 4-minute mode to win the game to close the game out. So. Look at the situation we're behind. So, fullback role changes, and, I'm not one of those guys who's going to give you a vertical threat because I don't have the speed to do that, So, just a different game plan is required when we're losing.
I imagine it's tough to watch.
It's very frustrating to watch knowing that my next snap is going to be a special team snap, regardless if it's punt return, or kickoff return, or kickoff, So I think, looking at things like that, it is frustrating because I know what we're capable of doing, but we're just not doing it right now.
Sometimes you can see more from watching than you can from playing. You're out there watching what we all watched on television or in person. What'd you see?
I just seen a lot of guys that were just frustrated because we couldn't get into the groove of what we wanted to do, what we game planned for the week in terms of running the ball. That's what we do. Alfred hasn't had a 100-yard game in a while. I don't think he's had one this season yet,
Correct.
To be honest. But looking at what we do and what we've done in the past and what he's done, we got to get back to getting him 100 yards. That way we can, get defenders in the box, and then we can do what we do on the, the passing game, which made us so good in the past in terms of play action and stuff. So, looking at that, we got to be better. Roy Halou came in, he did a great job of changing the pace for Alfred on third down and some other things, and we just got to find a happy medium and kind of get into the groove early on, as opposed to putting the drive together in the fourth quarter. We need to do stuff like that, and in the first half, and get our defense off the field. I think our defense stayed on the field the whole third quarter, and I actually said that on the sideline. I'm like, these guys have to be tired. We have to do something. So
you mentioned the running game, and I think folks, Redskins fans, to go back to the day, they remember Riggo. They remember Joe Washington. They remember Ernest Biner. This is a city that appreciates running the ball. Maybe it's not as sexy as throwing it around the lot, but folks around here, they'll take a 4-yard run on 1st and 10.
Absolutely.
Here we go. 17 rushes for the team yesterday. Only 2 teams, I did my research, DY. The Atlanta and the Jets ran fewer times yesterday than the Redskins. All 3 of those teams lost. At no point were you guys out of this game. You weren't down 3 scores trying to chase. Why do we think Jay Gruden and the staff is sort of abandoning, if I can call it that, the running game?
I wouldn't say abandon, but you look at the carries and the things that we did on first down. We were getting 2 yards as opposed to 5 and 6. That changes, what you want to do on second down and third down. You don't want to get into a third and long situation, which we did yet again, and like you said, the chances of converting, you got defenders who play the sticks. That's what we call it. Guys line up at the yard marks. The safeties aren't really going to move because they know you're going to, you have to get to those sticks. The ball's going to come out right now. They blitz, do different things, and they did a good job of making, getting pressure on Kirk and stuff like that, and, mixing up what they did. So I think, we just have to be better at execute. You see Deshaun making big plays out there in terms of, taking a 5-yard slant to the house and, making a screen into a big play, and I still haven't seen him run full speed yet. So I'm excited. We have what we need to, go forward with this thing. We just have to, do it on the scoreboard. The stats, all that other stuff, turnovers. Like you said, we're in it to the fourth quarter, and then we have 4 turnovers out of nowhere, and you can't blame it all on Kirk because I probably would have did the same thing. I'm not a quarterback. I'm gonna throw it to whoever I see is open, and that's all his job is. So I think there was some calls in there a couple of times I thought were questionable in terms of the pass interference on Breland and the fumble by Andre. But hey, that's what it was. They called it. We had to overcome it, and we didn't.
Your coach, Jay Gruden, and I said this sort of when he was hired, I thought to myself, he might be a great offensive mind, and he may be a great head coach soon. But there's coaching, and then there's coaching the Washington Redskins, who are scrutinized to the nth degree. I have a feeling this is I know it's dawned on him, but I think it's starting to really sort of perhaps weigh on him as well. I want you to hear your coach this afternoon, very candid, very honest, at his weekly day after press conference.
You know, if I had one area where I could say, well, we need to improve right here, I think we have a great understanding of what we need to do. But right now, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little smorgasbord of things that we have to work on and improve on. It's not one area. You know, it's a quarterback, it's the running game, it's the pass protection, it's the wideouts and their blocking, it's the defensive line pass rush, it's the coverage, it's the linebackers, it's the special teams, it's a little bit of everything. But over the course of the game, everybody sprinkles in a little bit of poor play, and that results in 1-6 or 1-5. What are we? 1-5? I'm losing track.
Jay Gruden today getting a little ahead of himself, hopefully not in a good way for the Redskins and their fans. 1-6. They're not 1-6 yet. They're 1-5. You've been here long enough to know when the sky is falling, and this is what it feels like. How do you guys deal with this? There seems to be a mental quotient to this in addition to the physical rigors of beating a football team.
Just deal with it. I mean, like you said, it's been addressed. We go out there and win games. Now we're talking about why we're doing good, you know. So just win games. That's the only solution you can have from here. It's nothing else to talk about. You know, we sit here and talk about what we need to improve on, running the ball, passing the ball, special teams, all the stuff he just said. But it doesn't matter if you don't win, you know. But if you do win, it's like, hey, maybe they need to fix this area, but they're doing, you know, good things in this area. I haven't heard any positive talk at all. So win games, and you know, we'll go from there with it.
You guys will be off tomorrow. You'll be back practicing Wednesday. How does this sort of angst and the 1-5 and the cloud, how does that not affect preparation?
It does affect preparation just because, you know, you get into a practice Wednesday, you're going to have some more guys banged up, probably a couple more guys out of practice on Wednesday. You still got to come back and game plan. You know, your spirits may be down just because you may feel like you don't know how to win because you haven't won in a long time. And I can't won one game in what, the last 13, 9, 10, something like that. I don't even know. But, you know, looking at it like that, I mean, you know, like you said, your spirits are down, but if you're a competitor, you know, one of the guys I look to is Ryan Clark. You know, you look at what he does and what he brings every day, and, you know, going into his 12th year, you know, you look at that stuff and you say, hey, you know, I appreciate a guy like that goes out there and puts everything on the line. He's been through, you know, this Redskin era before, left, won a Super Bowl, came back, you know, kind of said, hey, you know, I don't want to be back in this group. What can we do about this? And he even said it yesterday, hey, are we going to be about it or are we going to talk about it? We got to make up our minds now.
When do you say that? After the game?
After the game.
And the guys kind of, could you sense it coming together there?
You can sense it because we're not giving up on each other. I mean, you look at the talent we have across the board. I mean, obviously talent doesn't win games, but you look at the potential that we can have, you know, potential of what you can do. Why can't we be in the elite conversations with, you know, the Seattles, the Dallas right now, you know, the teams that, you know, DeMarco Murray's been in this league for a while now. Now they're just starting to talk about his 600-yard game. Whereas Alfred has done that before, you know, so why can't we be talked about like that? But obviously when you're, you know, 1-5 and not 5-1, you know, you look at the things that you do, you know, you have to improve on something. So, you know, we win some games. Hopefully we get to 5-5 and go from there and build.
703-387-1020 is our lawn and leisure hotline. Bob is in Gaithersburg, Maryland tonight. Hi, Bob. What's up?
Hey, Alex. I'm really shocked. DY, don't give up. I love my Redskins, but I think Gruden called a bad game. It's up to him to keep that running game going, and the coaches to teach those guys how to block up front.
Okay.
The defense needs a lot of work, especially the defensive backs.
Bob in Gaithersburg, thank you for your thoughts. DY, I'm not sure if you could hear all of Bob. He has a gripe with the play calling. That's a famous thing to do on Mondays after a loss. But I will go back to the running the football. Can Alfred or you or somebody say, Coach, feed me the ball? Does this happen in a game scenario, or once they got a game plan, that's what they're going with no matter what? How much say might players have, trust us, we can run this thing?
I think you have to show them more than say it, you know, because at this point right now, we're not running the ball really, really well. So I don't think it's a lack of guys just understanding what we're trying to do in the blocking game. I think it's a lack of execution. And, you know, Bob was right. We need to run the ball. We need to do some more things. But at the same time, you look at the situation that we were in. We fell behind early to New York. Seattle, we were still in the game. We ran the ball, but we didn't run the ball like we should have. You look at this game yesterday. I mean, I came in the game, one play, they had that goal line package on the field. You know, when we're backed up, and, you know, you don't practice those things sometimes. So they gave us a different look. But that's what you want to do. And then, who expected Deshaun to take a slant to the house on one of the best corners in the league, But, going back to the cornerback, our defensive backs, comment, I think, we got a bunch of young guys who are hungry out there competing, but on a week-in, week-out basis, I don't see anyone shut down Larry Fitzgerald. It's not going to happen because it's one of those guys who makes plays, and, he's a guy who's proven in this league. He's a Pro Bowler. He's, all-pro for a reason, But I think Breeland's going to be a really good quarterback. He's a competitor, and that's all we want. I mean, he made some plays out there. They called pass interference. Hey, it is what it is. He came back, still competed. You see Biggers try to make a play on Larry Fitzgerald, try to rip out his hand. We got guys out there competing. I think we have the right guys. I mean, I just think we got to put ourselves in a better situation. It's all about an inch. The game is about inches, So you take away, you look at the slant that, the pass that he caught on the sideline, over Breeland out of bounds. I mean, you take one more yard and Breeland one more step out and it's an incomplete pass. Then you look at Biggers that made a good play in the end zone. It's about a game of inches. I mean, that quarterback throws that 1 more yard, it's a touchdown. So it's about just going out there and executing. But I think we just need to master what we're doing and go with it.
When we come back, I want to ask you about your quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and what you've learned from watching him these last 4 weeks. Got to do a break. Folks on the line, stay on the line, and callers, please take note because you can win a big green egg. All callers to get through on our lawn and leisure hotline. There she is. Will be entered into our big green egg contest. Winner will be drawn in December. You'll win that puppy right there. For complete rules, go to WJLA.com/biggreenegg. Not an awful day in terms of injuries coming back from Arizona. Here's your injury report brought to you by the Cochran Law Firm. Let's start first with defense. David Amerson left with a concussion. He'll go through the protocol Tuesday. He is day-to-day. Next, Trent Williams left the game after that third pick. Tweaked a right knee injury. Sounds like it's not that serious. That guy's a warrior. He plays hurt. He plays every game. I'll be shocked if Trent Williams isn't there Sunday, 1 o'clock, when Tennessee rolls into town. Welcome back to After the Game with Darrel Young, DY, quarterback, Kirk Cousins. You're around him a lot more than I am, but he strikes me as a nice fellow, type of guy you'd want your daughter to date, perhaps. He wants it so bad. He works hard. He's got skills. He has shown the ability to make great plays, and then unfortunately he has shown this ability to make awful plays at the worst times. What do you make of his performance yesterday and, frankly, overall over this 3 or 4 game kind of audition, if that's what this is?
I respect Kirk. I trust him as a guy in the huddle. He comes in and takes charge of the huddle. I mean, it sucks that, 3 passes have everyone saying that he's not a good quarterback because he still threw for 354 yards. Showed signs of what we can do, but like you said, it goes back to the running game. A quarterback is comfortable when he knows that 9 guys aren't going to be in the box, and they're not going to be blitzing like crazy because they have to respect your passing game. So, I look at Kirk and what he's done and what he continues to do. I'm still going to trust him and love him the same way I do every week. He's one of those guys that I'll go to war with any day because I know what he's going to bring to the table, and he's going to go out there and give it his all. Regardless of what happens, he throws that pick and still comes back out and says, "Okay, guys, here we got. This is what we got." Stuff like that's what you want. You want a leader, you want a competitor, and he's that guy. It's just unfortunate that he's 0-7 as a starter. And when they're going back to whenever, but I know he has 1 win in Cleveland, but he's not that. His record doesn't indicate how his performance should be. He's a guy that, he came in, did some good things. Baltimore won us that game to continue on our streak in 2012. Won the Cleveland game. Came in this year, did some things in the Jacksonville game that had everyone excited, saying that what Robert couldn't do. It's not about what he can do, what he can't do. We just want a guy that competes. Just go out there and have fun. It's not about stats at the end of the day. Just go have fun. I think people are forgetting that as an athlete, of course you want to win, you want to do those things, but you have to learn to have fun too. And when you have fun, that's when success comes. When you don't have fun, you put yourself in a situation where you're like, hey, do I want to do this? You're questioning yourself. So I think, just Kirk, my message to Kirk today would be, hey, don't hang your head high or low. Pick your head up. You're one of those guys that's a leader. You have to be a leader. You're a quarterback. You touch the ball more than anyone besides the center. So just go have fun. Just be yourself.
Here's Kirk Cousins after the game.
We have the players that if we're on the field and we're moving the football, we got guys who can help us. But when you turn the ball over, you don't give them a chance to show what they can do. So got to be a lot better. The only thing I know to do is to just go 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and focus on the next task, which is Tennessee at home, and get a win there, and really not look any further than that, and really not look any further than tomorrow in terms of what we have to do to take a step towards getting a win. So we'll take it 1 week at a time.
Let's fire up the Lawn and Leisure hotline and go to Robert in Fort Washington on line 3. Hi, Robert. What's up?
How you doing?
We're good.
Man, I'm a diehard Redskins fan. I'm talking about I bleed burgundy and gold. But these guys here, like you're saying, have fun. That's the problem. They're having too much fun. The veterans are not calling these guys out. These guys are playing soft. It's time for them to sit back and be accountable for what they're doing, because we as fans who have season tickets are paying all this money for them to have fun.
Thank you, Robert. DY, last week the big story was after the loss to Seattle, a couple guys in the locker room are having some fun during the hour post-game deal. And Jason Reed writes a column about this, and then it's the Redskins aren't taking losing seriously enough. What do you say to Robert in Fort Washington?
We don't want to be losers. We're competitors. I mean, no one goes out there and say we want to lose a game, but at the end of the day, he's right. People pay a lot of money to show up for us to win, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's only one team happy. But I respect everything you're saying, because, maybe we are having too much fun and not doing what we're supposed to do. Maybe that's what it is. But, I don't have an answer for you. I'm a fullback. That's my role. I go block, I go catch. When my number's called, that's what I got to do to show up. And, I feel like I'm one of those guys that go out there every day and give you what I have. And I know the guys that are with me that aren't that active roster are going to do the same thing. But it's unfortunate, because I see the work that goes on in training camp. You see the work that goes on. People that come down to training camp see the work that goes on. I mean, we're out there hating each other. There's no, no buddy system. Guys are out there trying to fight for a job, and, basically you don't want anyone taking the food off your plate. So, I don't think there's too much fun going on. But like you said, you're not winning, so there's something going on that's not right for us right now.
Winning cures all.
Winning cures everything. We're not talking about anything today but positive stories and what can we do to win next week.
How great Kirk is, how great the game plan was, how great the defense was.
That's it.
When you lose, though, it's a whole different animal. William in Woodbridge, Tanya in Martinsburg, stay on the line. We will try to get to you on our Lawn and Leisure hotline after this break. Don't go away. Here's our play of the game, brought to you by Normandy Carpet Care. DY just told me during the break that he has not even seen Deshaun Jackson run yet. He has this gear, and then he has another gear, and you're telling us that was the play of the game, by the way. He's got another gear that we haven't seen yet?
I mean, he bobbled the ball twice and still didn't get touched.
Yeah.
He still wasn't running full speed on that, but that's what's special about him. That's what makes him Deshaun Jackson. That's why he was such a big acquisition for us in the offseason.
Is he like that in practice, or is he one of these guys? I'm not saying he takes practice off. I'm just saying there are guys that practice, and then there are guys that show up to play. Sometimes those are two different. What's he like?
Run period, he's one of those guys, he'll get in the way, for a guy for you. He'll do what he have to do to get out for free in the secondary. And in passing game, that's what he does, that's what he's here to make plays, and, he takes that seriously. So, I appreciate everything he does. I love what he does for the team, for us. So, he's scoring touchdowns, doing good things, and, Coach didn't call him out, but he wanted him to step up and do some things, and he's answered the challenge so far. So, hopefully, it gets better for him.
It's like Chris Carter back in the day, Buddy Ryan. All he does is score touchdowns. Redskins have one of those now. William is in Woodbridge this evening on our Lawn and Leisure hotline. What's up, William?
What's up? Hi. I think that Jake Gruden is moving away from the run and trying to throw more with Kirk Cousins, and I think Cousins can make those crunch time plays, and he keeps throwing his interceptions. And he keeps talking about, I need taking it week by week, and we need this to happen now. I mean, same time with our cornerbacks, the linebackers, we need everything to happen now, and we're not getting that. You know what I mean? We're not happy.
Okay. William's not happy, DY. Your coach earlier today said he feels like he's letting the city down. I imagine that's a sort of burden you guys all carry when you're losing like this.
It is the nation's capital. It's a team that you know, you look at what we do on a week in and week out basis, and we're letting people down. People leaving the stadium early. You know, it's frustrating to be in the stadium and have your fans leave, or have the opposing team's fans stay there and cheer for them, and hear crews all over the stadium when he catches the ball. But I guess we do have to run the ball more. We have to do something, but we have to get more than 1 yard on first down to, allow coach to put us in a situation to say, hey, we're going to run it again. So, you look at teams that run the ball 37 times. They're just sticking to what they do. So we got to find out what we can do well and stick to it.
Dallas ran it 37 times yesterday at Seattle in a nip and tuck game and won the football game. We'll try to get to Tanya and some others after the break, and we will look ahead to next Sunday's game against the Titans after this. DY, the good thing is there's always another game. Until we get to week 17, there's another game. I will have you know you're favored next week against the Tennessee Titans. You're actually favored in the football game here. What do you make of that?
It's exciting. Vegas believes in us a little bit. It's exciting.
Then you got a Cowboys game looming. Real quick, your coach today gave us an update on Robert. He's going to participate in individual drills this week and maybe team drills next week. We got 30 seconds left. What have you seen out of Robert?
Same thing I've seen him when he was rehabbing for his knee, a guy who's relentless in terms of recovery and rehabbing and all that other stuff. I've never seen a guy like that. I ask him all the time, what do you do that's so special? I've never seen a guy run full speed and plant and all this stuff, but you're a couple weeks out. But he looks good, though. He's one of those guys, he's competitive. You see him doing drills there. He just works hard, man. And you want a guy like that, just to go out there and have fun, and not forget, what brought him to where he's at, and he definitely hasn't. So, you want a leader like that because he's so humble and, competitive, and Kirk's that guy too. So we'll see.
DY, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Maybe
it.
next Monday it'll be following a victory.
I hope so.
That's what Vegas thinks.
I hope so.
No pressure. Thanks all so much for watching. Tanya and the folks on the line we couldn't get to. I'll be back at 9 o'clock talking Redskins. We'll see you then.